Bulldog sport. Bulldog athletes learn the same lesson. No one succeeds alone. Bulldog sports really taught us much more. In gymnasiums, locker rooms, fields, and buses across New Mexico, Bulldog athletes learned lessons that lasted after the final whistle. They learned how to trust people who didn't grow up like them, how to lead, how to follow, how to represent something bigger than themselves. At their best, Bulldog sports brought people together who might otherwise never cross paths. Students, families, and neighborhoods united in pride and shared identity. For a city as diverse as Albuquerque, this is no small achievement. Today, trophies tell the stories of championships, but the real legacy of Albuquerque athletics lives in the people. Leaders, professionals, parents, mentors, community members were shaped by the time as Bulldogs. The lessons remain clear and timeless. When we commit to a common cause, when we respect each other's differences and pull in the same direction, there are no limits to what we can accomplish. In closing, to every Bulldog athlete, past, present, and future, thank you for carrying this legacy forward. To the coaches, families, and neighborhoods who stand behind them, thank you for that unity is our greatest strength. Albuquerque High School is not just a school. It's a community, it is a tradition, and it is a powerful reminder that when we stand together, we win together. Once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. Thank you very much.
All right, let's give him one more round of applause. So how's everybody feeling this morning? All right, thanks for having us. So our first inductee is going to be Lucian Strazinsky. He's the boys soccer coach, state champions in 2015, 17, and 2019, a 9-time. They won 9 district titles. And speaking on his behalf today and presenting him is going to be Mr. Chad Jones.
Good morning, everybody. Doug Dorme was supposed to introduce Lucian. He couldn't be here today. He had a previous engagement. He asked me to speak on his behalf. So I'm going to read this letter that Coach Dorme wrote. So it's going to sound like it's coming from somebody else because it is. So first off, Coach Dorme said, I wanted to congratulate all the inductees today in the Albuquerque High A Club Hall of Honor. It is also a great honor to introduce Lucian Strazinsky. I had the privilege of being the athletic director during the historic 13-year run made by his Bulldog soccer teams. Lucian has deep roots in Albuquerque High School. He graduated here, along with his brother and sister. His mother, Francesca, was also a longtime teacher here at the school. Lucian then became one of the most successful head coaches in any sport at AHS. In 1999, Lucian was hired to be the soccer coach at Albuquerque High. Soccer was still a relatively new sport in New Mexico high school circles. The team did not have an on-campus facility and played all their games at the Ferndale Soccer Complex. The team struggled, and after 3 years, Lucian moved on from the program. When Lucian left in 2002, he first traveled to Zimbabwe with an organization called Grassroots Soccer. He stayed there for 2 years, teaching soccer and working with social programs within that country. After returning to the States, Lucian became heavily involved in the club soccer scene. There, he was works for the Colorado Rapids. Lucian became heavily immersed in the club soccer scene, coaching high-level youth soccer. In 2007, Lucian traveled back to Italy to give professional soccer just one more try. While he was in Italy, he received an email that alerted him of the opening for the Alabama High boys soccer job in League. He thought this might be his second opportunity to lead his alma mater. We were fortunate to hire Lucian for his second stint at Albuquerque High in 2008. And this time, Lucian was ready. Everything came together for the soccer program. The facility renovation led to a brand new soccer field in front of Albuquerque High for home games and practice. In the past, since they played at the Bernalillo Soccer Complex, very few people attended. The team was also practicing at Martinez Town Park. But having an on-campus facility changed the entire culture of Bulldog soccer. It became easier to follow and to notice the soccer team. Lucian began a methodical climb to the top. In 2010, 2011, and 2012 seasons, the soccer team made the first round of the state tournament, but were eliminated. In 2013, the Bulldogs advanced into the state semifinals. A penalty in the goalie box led to a heartbreaking defeat. In 2014, Lucian's teams kicked down another barrier. They finally reached the state finals. Unfortunately, the soccer gods decided that Volcano Vista was the better team that night. The Bulldogs finished second in state to earn a red trophy, but the best was yet to come. In 2015, 2017, and 2019, Lucian and his Bulldog soccer teams were the conquering heroes. They captured the state 5A championship, defeating respectively Atrisco Heritage, La Cueva, and Hobbs in those championship games, earning themselves the Blue Trophy. Lucian's teams had become the pinnacle and benchmark for excellence in boys soccer in the state of New Mexico. His 2019 team earned a national ranking and were honored by Max Preps. He garnered multiple New Mexico Coach of the Year honors and was an NFHS Coach of the Year nominee. Fans flocked to see Lucian and the Bulldog teams in the state tournament. The crowds at the soccer complex, both in Bernalillo and the APS, were unmatched. It was a sea of Kelly green and white. To this day, the NBA will tell you that nobody ever brought more fans to a state soccer tournament than the Bulldogs. It was a must-see soccer and a major event for the entire AHS community. Those teams and 3 blue trophies recharged Albuquerque High School and it brought so much hope and pride back to the school. Lucian's last season was during the pandemic of 2020 and 2021. He had announced that he was leaving Albuquerque High to come to work for the New Mexico United Soccer Team, and it just started in Albuquerque. Also, the United Soccer Team had taken several of our players to join their academy that they were beginning. Despite losing 4 of his best players to the United, Lucian once again took his team to the state championship game against Rio Rancho. Unfortunately, the Bulldogs did not prevail that day, but they earned another red trophy, giving Lucian a total of 3 state championships and 2 state runner-ups. A tremendous feat. It was a bittersweet day because it ended a remarkable AHS coaching career of Lucian Strazinsky. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to introduce one of the most legendary coaches in Bulldog City history, Lucian Strazinsky.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chad. First of all, there are 2 things I never talk about. I never talk about my playing career. I played, but it was nothing worth calling a career. And I never talk about those first 4 years coaching Albuquerque. I was 22 when I was hired to be the varsity head coach of Albuquerque High. 22, never coached a day in my life, and I was awful to say. But what I did after that was what I think we all need to do in life if we want to be good at anything. We got some really good mentors. And looking back on it, the mentors in my life here at that time in the early 2000s in Albuquerque, was so lucky to have those people here at the same time. Chad mentioned Chris Cartledge. He's now the technical director at Rapids, and he meant everything to me in my life as a mentor and what it means to coach. I wanted Chad and Dormy to introduce me because when I came back, I was ready to do it the right way. Tim McCorkle hired me in 2008. And I felt like the 3 of us, Doug Gormley, that was his first year. Chad Jones came pretty shortly after as the trainer. I felt like as an administration, we were all on the same team, we were fighting the same cause, and we're all in it together. Players on the field, staff, the coaching staff, and the administration, we were all doing it together. And the friendships that came from that have meant a lot to me in my life. So thank you, Chad. I, I, I do have to say before I go anything, I was at that game last fall when Tomas Babliga, a longtime teacher at Albuquerque, I died on the sideline, had a heart attack. Obviously, what we're doing today is recognizing sports. My junior and senior year here at Albuquerque, I had Mr. And, I had Mr. Fabrica as a teacher. He was for me that teacher. Everything else I did in my life outside of soccer, a lot of that came from him. We've all had that teacher in our life. Mr. Fabrica he was that guy for me. He was that teacher. And to be there that day. Yeah. Anyway, much love to Mr. Fabrica, his family. And, but as Chad said, I work at New Mexico United now. That's the reason why I left Albuquerque High as the kind of the obvious path. It's been good, it's been fascinating, working with the pro clubs, a whole different set of challenges. But there will never be anything in my life in this game that'll compare to those years coaching at Albuquerque High. You know, and I've thought a lot about why it meant so much to me. First of all, this reason I was born and raised in the Albuquerque High neighborhood, Monte Vista, Jefferson, Albuquerque High. But as Richard Romero was saying, I think what really has hit me and why this means so much to me. I've been in the school a while, and I was just looking at the trophies over there in those cases, and looking at the names on those trophies. Our team, those years, and represented literally every single neighborhood in the Albuquerque High District. Richard Romero listed all of them. I mean, from Old Town to Downtown, to Broadway, Gibson to Yale, to back down to Indians, that circle around Albuquerque High, we had players from every single neighborhood there. And it's not even just the guys who are on those trophies, it's the ones who didn't win the trophies. The first year I got here, we had 16 kids at tryouts. 16 kids telling kids to go bring their friends out. Those kids who were in it in the beginning, they meant as much to winning those state titles as the guys whose names are on the trophies. And the feeling, what I miss the most, what I miss every day is those 5 or 6 years when we ran boys soccer and we ran. Everyone knew a state title was going to go through us. Either we were going to win it, or if we didn't, you sure as hell had to go through us. And that feeling, it's not invincibility, because you always, any player, any coach will tell you, there's always a part of you that's scared to lose. So you never feel invincible. But man, that feeling when we walked on the field and we knew our boys, our neighborhood, our families, that everyone respected us, feared us, and that strength that came from that, there is, in doing that again with our boys and our neighborhoods, that's something that I miss every single day. I miss it, I miss it, I miss it. I'm also at a point now where I can truly say, look back on those years and feel honored. I was honored when you gave me the call a couple months ago. Looking at all the people here, the people I'm being inducted with, honored to have my name alongside all of yours. And as always, just this deep pride I've always had to be part of this Albuquerque High family. So I thank all you guys. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much.
All right, once again, let's give a round of applause for Mr. Strazinsky for what he's doing for the contribution. So next up, um, we have uh, Jordan Santiago. Just want to give you guys a little insight on these brothers today. They were slated to go a little bit later in the program, but they have something very special going on today from their family as their sisters graduated from UNM from nursing school, if I'm not mistaken. And so they're going down so they can attend that engagement as well. So let's thank the family once again. So let's get on to Jordan. So Jordan Santiago, class of 2010 wrestling, two-time state champion, 2007, 2008, district champion, 2007, 2008, 2010, three-time city champion, 2008, 2009, and 2010. And he took third place in state in 2010. And speaking for Jordan today, and honoring him will be his father, Moses Santiago, and his coach, Manny Garcia.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome all inductees and honors. I'm not one for speaking, but I have the privilege up here to speak on behalf of Jordan Santiago and his father and brother here, as they mentioned. Uh, we started wrestling back in the day when we were young. Me and Moses were coaches in junior wrestling, and watched these young men grow up. And as Jordan came through the ranks, and along the way, I became a coach here at Albuquerque High. Um, And we started the junior program, and I started as an assistant here under Tomas Zamora, and later became the head coach, and had the privilege of coaching Jordan Santiago to 2 state titles, and as they mentioned, all his credentials and status. Jordan, congratulations, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to coach you. And without further ado, here's his father, Moses. You only took a minute. I don't like talking in front of people, so if I cry, I'm sorry. Um, it's a blessing to have my son. From day one, you using a wrestling, because I wrestled with men to 5 all the way up to still wrestling. But Jordan had a wild, funny path. He used to cry all the time. Win or lose, he was constantly crying. He made the newspaper at the age of 6, front headlines. Kid gets paid to make kids cry by his father. So in order for me to stop my son from crying, I told him I would pay him $1 if he would make the other kid cry. My kid's very smart. So if you make kids cry, you gotta go. Took steak is liked him, asked him, what makes you so good? Says, my dad pays me to make kids cry.
I got that suspended for 2 years. Didn't sound too good. I just wanted my kid to sound. He's doing great. Advanced. We had our ups, we had our downs, but more ups. Agreements. And disagreements. Special kid. Now he's getting back to the community. He has a wrestling team now for 4 years. 4 years at our gym, the gym on the west side. Wrestling program with a few of our old wrestlers there and coaches. There's teams that help Jordan during his younger years. Coach Kelly. Number one team in the state. Coaching the state. So we have 4 national teams. Yeah. National teams. 5. National ranked kids. We get back to the community. Been very proud of that. It was a blessing to have him and his younger brother traveling in the mountains. Morning, every guys. I'm Dion Santiago. Jordan's a little bigger brother. It's an honor that he wanted me to come speak on his behalf as well. Funny story. We actually tried to quit wrestling when we were kids. It was my idea. We were inside the car. My dad was locking up the wrestling door. And before Dad got to back to the car, I was like, "Hey, do you want to quit?" He goes, "Yeah, cool." Dad got back to the car, Jordan's in the passenger, I'm in the back seat. Dad starts the car.